You spend late nights building dense slide decks. You run spreadsheet models and pace your office, rehearsing arguments until your throat goes dry. You do everything right on paper. You walk into the boardroom confident in your preparation. Yet, an hour later, you leave the building feeling defeated. Most people rely on airtight data points. They construct logical counterarguments for every possible objection and calculate a mathematically perfect initial offer. Relying entirely on the strength of your pitch means you have already lost the battle before you even take a seat. The bargaining table operates on psychological reality. Logic is rarely the primary mechanism at work. Winning at this level requires you to disregard standard preparation entirely. To an analytical mind, this is jarring. Your pitch does not matter. Leverage is the singular force that dictates who wins and who loses at the table. This leverage is governed by a single, counterintuitive psychological rule, rather than a collection of data points. The bargaining table is a primal test of psychological dependency and power dynamics. This diagram represents the invisible balancing act of power between two parties, the moment they interact. This is the walkaway paradox. Power shifts toward the party that cares the least. Reveal you need the deal more, and your leverage evaporates. This requires a strict strategy of concealment. When you genuinely do need the job or the contract, your absolute priority is hiding that fact from the opposition. Leverage does not require a total lack of need. It requires the airtight concealment of that need. This mechanism dictates every type of transaction, regardless of the environment. In a salary review, projecting a readiness to leave forces an employer to calculate the heavy cost of replacing you. In high-stakes business deals, packing up your briefcase and walking away tests the opposing company's true bottom line. In everyday persuasion, maintaining strict emotional distance prevents others from using guilt or pressure to wear you down. This posture reverses the dynamic. By removing your own desperation from the equation, you force your opponent into the position of needing you. Projecting a willingness to leave moves you from a petitioner seeking a favor to a prize being sought. Internalizing the walk-away paradox allows you to operate from a different psychological baseline. You stop viewing the bargaining table as a place to convince someone to give you what you want. You view it as a neutral space to evaluate mutual benefit. This shift acts as cognitive armor. When an opponent deploys aggressive tactics or arbitrary deadlines, your decision-making faculties remain protected. Mastering the walk-away strips the opposition of their power to dictate your choices or your emotional state. Memorizing conversational gambits or adopting power poses is ineffective compared to this deep psychological posture. This power manifests as a quiet, unshakable, and actual physical readiness to push back from the table and leave the room. If you are willing to walk away, you will never negotiate from a position of weakness again.